25 fastest times a room turned ugly, according to Reddit. Number 25. My brother's birthday party. He had recently gotten engaged. My aunt in the loos commented to another relative that it was a shame he hadn't found a nice policewoman. My brother is a policeman. His now wife's dad had just finished a long prison sentence to being a gangster and blamed her for his not being promoted in the distant future. Her friends overheard and it all kicked off. Both families waded in. It took dozens of off-duty policemen to separate everyone. They got married in Las Vegas and didn't invite everyone. That's my kind of wedding.
Didn't invite anyone, yeah.
That's my kind of wedding. I've discussed it before.
I agree. Like, it could... not to talk about this too much, but I would prefer like a private ceremony over having the whole family there.
A wedding is about two
Sounds
fucking
terrifying.
people, and it's not like this big fucking to-do for all of these assholes. Like, if that's what the girl wants, then that's what the girl can get, but fuck me.
I don't even want it to be like more expensive than a birthday party.
That's another thing, is the money. Like, yo, like I would, whatever, you know.
Just a bowl of punch.
The honeymoon is where you should want to spend some money and have the time of your life or something. But fuck me, a crazy ass ceremony, that's just a day, nigga. That is just a day. Yes, it's shared experience, but a honeymoon is somewhere you could travel together and have a good time and take pictures.
Have you ever been to Ireland?
Hmm?
Have you ever been to Ireland?
No. Have I been to Ireland? That's a good question. I don't think I. No. Been fucking around in Europe, but I'm not sure I've been to Ireland. No.
I'm surprised. There's so many redheads there, and you're crazy about them.
There are a lot of redheads in Germany that I saw anyway.
I didn't know that.
Well, I was on a cruise, and we would get off and stay places for a certain amount of time. So walking up and down the street in a lot of places, there were a lot of wild-looking women. Number 24. We were at a birthday party for one of our friends. He was a biker, and he had a bunch of his biker friends over. One of my husband's other friends, not a biker, was drunk and kept touching my butt. I told him not to touch me or I would drop him. His last time, I walked by and he slapped my butt really hard. I swung around and punched him in the face. Because it was a narrow walkway, his head hit the wall. I broke his nose and it cracked his 2 front teeth. Found out later that day. He had shitty teeth, so it didn't take much to break them. The party went dead. It got really quiet. I yelled at him and told him not to fucking touch me ever again. Of course, my husband was upstairs taking a dump and missed the whole thing. That's my kind of guy. He came downstairs and I told him we're leaving. All the bikers went over to this guy and started yelling at him about respecting other people's women. Yeah, and stuff about ruining a good time. I'm not sure what happened after that, but we left. No one ever hung out with that guy again. His own brother was part of our group of friends, and he never invited him anymore. Well, yeah, nigga, you fucked up. Find the hoes who are into that shit. It's so easy to read a female. Is that rude to say? I mean, it's so easy to see who is receptive to certain shit. You don't dish out what females aren't willing to receive, because, like, holy shit, even the females who are willing to receive certain shit can turn it on you at any moment, and then you're in trouble. So you better watch yourself. You're in trouble.
Are you implying it's just a light switch for some people?
No, it's just a light switch for women. Women's emotions are much like a light switch. Much like a child just flipping on and off the light switch. You know what I mean? Because he's bored. But they don't have control over this little nigga inside their mind flipping the emotional light switch. You want to talk about emotional light switch, or you want to get through this list, Stripes? Emotional light switch. That sounds like a badass song on a B-side of my record. People aren't going to know where I'm from talking about B-sides. The response to this reads, all the bikers went over to this guy and started yelling at him about respecting other people's women. So close to being a nice message. Number 23. The owner of a property management company I worked for in high school summoned all of the employees into a conference room for a special announcement. She had been hinting at retirement for a while, so everyone suspected she was about to hand her responsibilities over to the office manager to transition ownership over time. As promised. Turns out, she sold the company to a larger company firm, and as of that day, nobody in the room had a job anymore. Wasn't a big deal to me because it was just a summer job and I had already given my 2 weeks notice before school started back up, but it was the livelihood to most of the people in the room. Holy shit, man, that's fucked.
I want to know if people were looting the office.
This stinks, but what's the alternative? I've heard stories of a company saying, sorry guys, but in 2 weeks you won't have a job anymore. People stop working, they steal everything, they break stuff. Damned if you do and damned if you don't on the part of the management. Somebody else said you could give an advanced warning and assist the employees in finding a new job. This is what they should do. This is what they should be legally obligated to do because it's the fucking humane thing to do. People need work, people need livelihood, people need money, and from what I understand, it's much easier to find employment while you are employed than when you're unemployed. You know, I know all about that. People shouldn't feel the need to steal and break stuff if the company is treating them right and they are actively trying to help you continue in your career. Oh, well, we shouldn't talk about what people should and shouldn't, you know what I mean? It's never about that. People gonna fuck shit up because this is bullshit. They thought that they were comfortable. They thought that they had something going here. You ever been somewhere and somebody just like serves you in a way where it's like, damn, nigga, you really must not have any kind of fear of losing your job. You must feel so comfortable here that like you could never be fired. Kind of like how niggas at the DMV deal with everybody. You know what I mean? They are so secure in their fucking position here that they might as well just be spitting and slapping in the faces of motherfuckers walking through the door. Cause it's like, man, you just think nothing could happen to you. I bet you it's just like that. When these people were walking into that room and being told that they don't have a job, it must have been a fucking shock. They probably didn't know how to react. But if they were given 2 weeks to react, they would probably burn the motherfucker down. They would probably burn that place down. The response continues. They could have set up a meeting with larger management to the firm to interview current employees to keep their positions or have similar positions in the new company. There are ways to give people notice and have everyone not steal and break stuff. The employees would do that don't deserve new jobs anyway. That's so scummy. Look, man, stop talking about what things are like in the utopia that you want the world to be like. It's like the women that consider themselves feminists that are just like, you know, men should not be raping a woman. I should be able to just walk around topless if I want. And it's like, okay, yeah, we agree with that. You know what I mean? But to not take any measures to protect yourself in the event that the assholes who will be assholes choose to be assholes, it's fucking crazy. Because after you're raped, bro, you can't just be thinking to yourself, well, he shouldn't have done that. If you knew that people are out there, people are going to be stealing, people are going to be killing, people are going to be breaking the law, you got to take measures to protect yourself. This is not the world that we live in yet. It's not a utopia like you want it to be. So no matter how bad or wrong it is, fuck me, man. Like, live in the real world. Live in the real world and understand that things will happen. Here we go. Number 21. We were sitting at the adult table eating our Easter brunch in the house of my ultra-religious brother's family. We were all laughing and recalling funny stories about relatives long gone, and after a sudden lapse in the laughter, the room became dead silent when my son at the children's table screamed at his cousin, "There's no proof of God being real." Nice. Easter was pretty much over at that point. Dishes were cleared, cleaned, and we sulked out without much eye contact. Nice. A good Christian would not become upset at this because the definition of faith is trust in God without asking for proof. Source, I'm a former Catholic. You know what I mean? I'm a former Catholic, you know what I mean? I remember, like, my favorite things in the world are when, like, it's something, like, really redundant, something silly, and they were saying, yeah, dude, the other day I was using a spoon and it just didn't feel the same like they used to. It's as if they're making spoons differently. And then somebody responds and goes, I can attest to feeling a little different. I am a spoon. What the fuck? Response: yes, but it's still obnoxious to start shit about religion when you're a guest in the. It was a fucking kid.
Yeah, it was a kid.
What are you people? Look, number 20 here. Let's check the news. Britain leaves EU. Fucking hell, mate. I like that. Yeah, shit must have just flipped on everybody. I was at Glastonbury Festival when I found out. Rather cast a pall over the proceedings. Well, that and the rain. Oh, that's almost poetic. Number 19. Hosted a Super Bowl party in Seattle in 2015. I'm guessing that the end result of whatever Super Bowl party was less than acceptable for those in attendance of the Super Bowl party. Again, for those watching this who are into sports and know who was playing and know who lost and what a travesty it must have been for people who were invested in said team, I can tell you as like the biggest fucking nerd that you know that's totally invested in video games and could give two shits about some guys being paid millions of dollars to run a fucking pigskin up and down a fucking field. You got the wrong guy here, and I apologize. I'm pretty sure every video I either date myself or say something that triggers people in a way where it's just like, how can you not know about this? I love this. And I'm just like, dude, we're all different, you know, different strokes for different folks. You got me fucked up. I just don't know. I'm sorry.
Maybe just people are invested in it in the financial way, as in they're placing bets and losing money.
Maybe I shouldn't be injecting myself so, you know, specifically into this particular one. Should have read it in like hosted a Super Bowl party in Seattle in 2015. Can you believe the outcome? Fucking. Number 18. Tell a successful branch that their factory is closing. This is essentially what we just read earlier. That happened to me. To make it worse, the clueless CEO made us all watch the longest, most boring PowerPoint presentation in history, with graph after graph showing how great we were doing. What? Then at the end, he announces that the branch is closing and that they're all unemployed. Wow. There wasn't enough business overall to keep all the branches open, so they closed the one profitable one and kept the headquarters branch open, even though it was a complete shit show, losing money hand over fist. Somebody says, in a fucked up way, you're better off. If the company was making poor decisions like that, it's better to leave sooner than later. I guess, you know, it's like a relationship, you know. Things are gonna get shitty, it's better they get shitty sooner than later. Number 17. Oh, God. I wonder if the subscribers can tell that part of me is essentially just woken up. Maybe I'm not as lively, as enthusiastic as I normally would be. Maybe I'm dripping with fucking bile and miserable because I genuinely burned my brisket last night, which I cooked obviously too late because I fell asleep and woke up when it was friggin' burnt. I couldn't afford to burn that brisket, Stripes.
I hope you don't blame me for that.
You could have kept me awake.
Yeah, but maybe if you had given me the order too.
Number 16. The couple hosting the party got into a fight with each other in front of everyone. So much so that she slapped one side of his face, then expected guests to take sides. It ruined everything. People left. I would hate that. I would hate being in a position. Everybody left. Well, I guess they all picked a side after all, huh? The best side, outside. That's a dumb one. No. Look, man, if something like this is going down, I would covertly be recording them, son. You know, I ain't.
It got killed.
Could you get in trouble for that, like legally, since you're in like somebody's private residence and they're, you know, cutting the fool and acting up, and then you start to record them and put that on the internet? Is that like their privacy that you're violating in a way?
I think so, yes.
They can suck my ass. They invited me over there and they're gonna act a fool, you know what I mean? There must not have been something. I didn't know that there was some kind of like fucking phone ban in your house where I can't be recording y'all. You slapping bitches and shit. I know the man would be happy that the recording existed. It'd just be the woman who would be embarrassed because, you know, when a woman has an audience in the midst of her acting like a bitch, she the one who want to act different. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about. Number 14. When it was announced that our community bank was being acquired by Wells Fargo and 85% of the people were going to lose their jobs. There's a lot of this, and it's so sad. It's a shame. It's a true shame. Oh well, stripes. Number 13. High school, 2001. Everyone was laughing and making jokes about how stupid someone would have to be to accidentally fly a plane into a building. Teacher turned on the TV at that exact moment, and the second plane flew into the tower on ABC News. Not sure if that counts as being ugly and sour, but definitely changed the mood of the room from joking to we're going to hell. In their defense, it was considered a freak accident before the second plane, since no one knew what the hell was going on in between both planes. After the second plane, that shit was perfectly clear. So yeah, I can imagine the mood change. There's a video of that shot by an NYU student. The change over is pretty drastic.
No way.
To be honest, man,
Holy mofo, what is that?
do you think that this kind of crap could just happen in the United States? Do you think that like some motherfuckers could just get up in the air, hijack a plane, in 2001 and make them fly into or do you think that maybe something more was going on? Do you think that, as some firemen attested, maybe there were, some bombs in the building? What do you think?
Hi, Mom.
I don't know where you're getting to tinfoil territory, Kyle.
It must be tinfoil territory if we object to anything that, the media tells us. That the government tells us.
I don't think they're telling us everything. Why
It's
would
funny
they?
because it's the same government that is trying to get Hillary into the fucking White House, you know what I mean? And people outright object to anything outside of what was told to them during the Bush administration before we went over there chasing fucking oil like crazy. I am not gonna get this into the video. I'm just trying to get to this damn plane, baby. Trying to get to this damn plane, baby. You remember the Phenomenon series that I started reading?
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, where's the other plane, damn it?
I don't think they're telling
What's
us
over there?
everything, and their first priority is, of course, public relations and making sure everyone's in their place.
Obviously.
Oh please. I think you operate thinking Nah, I feel like this shit was like dubbed over. Nah, bro. Fake, bro. I'm not in the mood for your video pranks, bro. So, number 12? New Year's Eve party at somebody's house. Stupid redneck fucktard sets off an M80 in the doorway inside a house. Oh shit, did this place get burned down? 50 people instantly went deaf from the blast being channeled into the small house. The party was over in about 5 minutes and everyone left. My right ear barely hears anything anymore thanks to that bastard. Are you kidding me? People went deaf because of some idiot? The firework, I thought you meant M80 infantry fighting vehicle. No, that was a joy to work out in my head to figure out what the hell this redneck had an eye feel. Come on, man. Wow, dude, somebody set off a firework of that magnitude inside a confined space. You gotta be careful who you share company with, man. Holy shit. Oh, stripes. Number 11. That's an easy one. What happened?
Why not be a hermit so you don't ever have to deal with people that you don't want to deal with?
How dare you take shots at my laugh?
It's shots at my own life, Kyle.
Wait, what happened?
It's shots at my own life, Kyle.
I understand. I burnt the brisket, stripes.
I'll send you a new one.
You don't know how fat this brisket was. This brisket was about the size of my head. Remember I told you that I had to take it out of the oven and slice that shit so that it would...
I'll buy you a baby calf that you can eat.
I don't want baby calf. Just want pizza rolls and... Oh God, what's going on in my life? Would killing a man make it easier? Would it make me feel? Would it make me feel? Look, I'm just kidding about all this killing shit if, like, you're a new subscriber and you don't know me or something. But can you imagine if, like, I killed somebody and then suddenly all of the shit that I recorded on YouTube, like, hours and hours of shit, was something that, like, FBI dudes had to comb through? Not insinuating that the government isn't already having to painstakingly listen to my shit and get bored all day because I'm on a list. But at the same time, it'd be funny for, like, you know, the public to just be like, this guy killed a man. Look at all the shit online he has. And then, you know, just hearing me ramble. And then some people would probably be listening to it and going, man, I kind of get where this guy's coming from. I like this guy. I identify with this guy. I identify with a murderer. It kind of makes me want to murder. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
What if people just wish that they were the murder victim idly?
You think that somebody listening to this would be like the fantasizing about being the victim of me murdering them? So, like, do they have it all? Are you? Is it you?
Oh no!
You want me to murder you?
No, I don't want to be.
How do you want it? How do you want to die?
I guess poisoned.
Why?
It's unsuspecting. I don't know until I'm dead.
Oh, you're implying that when you're dead, you'd know.
I don't want any theatrics.
Oh my God, I'm dead. This guy, he poisoned me. What the hell? In the midst of her death.
Kind of like intimate death with a knife to the gut or anything.
Intimate? That's just like, hey girl, yeah, I did this for you. No, I did it for you. Number 11. That's an easy one. Thanksgiving dinner every year. Topic of politics. Wow, so people just get really heated in their discussions of politics. These are so small. These are so short. Number 10. It wasn't a room, it was a bus full of 8th graders, and it was when, while returning from an 8th grade trip, we came upon the scene of one of the... Oh my God. We came upon the scene of one of the students' brothers' murder. He was coming to pick her up from the trip when he was shot in a drive-by. Oh my God. A student's brother was coming to pick up the little kid from a field trip, and he was killed in a drive-by. Oh no.
Well, a car is in a room. So I don't know if this one counts.
You're not gonna throw him that bone, Stripes?
Okay.
Did you just say what bone? Are you teasing that you don't understand that idiom? Because I know that you understand it. Wipe that fucking look off your face. Anyway, the response here is, this is eerily similar to my 8th grade experience coming back from a field trip. Bus was pulling up to the school parking lot full of kids. We see one student's mom holding a baby and crossing the street. The crossing guard told her to cross, and an oncoming car totally missed the crossing guard signal. A lot of parents had a lot of elementary schoolers watch the mom die in the street before the ambulance arrived. Horrible. The mother shielded the baby from the fall. Hopefully the baby survived. Oh my God. This list just slid right up somebody's alley listening to this. And hey man, if you guys are into this kind of morbid shit, which I know you fucking are, look up lists, well I should say look up Ask Reddit threads that fall into this category that somehow I haven't done yet. This list is really getting away from me, and I apologize to anybody listening, but the bottom line is I burnt that fucking brisket and I'm losing my mind over it, and just keeping my composure is something that's more taxing than perhaps anything that you'll fucking do today. Just throwing that out there. What you got going on, homie? Tell me about all your problems in the fucking comment section so I can feel humbled, you know what I mean? Like, about the fact that I burnt my goddamn brisket that I could have sliced thin and put into the ramen that someone was sweet enough to send. Am I gonna sneeze?
Well, at least you know about it this time.
Excuse me.
Oh no.
Stop being amused by sneezes.
It's cute.
gonna be cute when I fucking poison you, Strip. Yeah. I'm kidding, government. It's a joke. Government, it's a joke.
It's a good thing you have me on the location, huh?
Somebody is gonna hate this video, but the bottom line is, look how short these things are. And I know that you guys just want something to listen to, and it's not like I'm trying to be funny at this point. This is all just like, this is all just blurring into like you
like morbidity. I really enjoy like listening and reading about morbid shit.
Is
but
morbidity
I just
a
don't
word?
have the stomach for even movie violence.
Stripes knew a word I didn't know. Morbidity. You know.
It's a word.
I know. I ain't do it. Ugh. Number 9. Halfway through a wedding reception, lots of booze. Band leader asks crowd to find out which man at their table has the nearest birthday. Okay, accomplished. Then the band leader says, each guy give the flower centerpiece to the prettiest girl at the table. Oh no, dude. Nope, 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 nope. 11 other guys get it right. They give it to their girl. The guy at our table, fairly inebriated, doesn't give it to his wife. He gives it to the prettiest girl at the table. Holy shit. The air got sucked out of the room. The wife is steaming. She looks ready to grab the vase and smash him in the face with it. And I know somebody's listening and going, that's pronounced vase, Kyle. Fuck you. Breaking the fucking flow of this story with your bullshit, bro. You think I can't feel your thoughts? You think I don't know you? You think I'm not mixing up a special batch of poison just for you? This is pretty dark shit, man. We can't make videos and talk about like murder and joke and stuff, even though the government's got to know that we're joking, because I'm telling them it's a joke. You know what I mean? Should I just put like it's a joke across the screen in the midst of all my videos, because this is getting out of hand. Anyway. The girl with the flowers has no idea what to do, but her boyfriend wants to kick the husband's ass. The rest of us are either horror-stricken or nervously laughing. We know we are all gonna hear it. The tables nearby have heard most of it, and whispering spreads. The band starts to play, and the wife takes the opportunity to get louder before storming out. The party was over. He was just doing what he was told. Poor bastard. Did the boyfriend start a rebellion against the royal family soon after? That's a joke that I don't get. Yeah. I feel a little foolish because I don't, it must be some kind of like, queen, prince joke.
No one's ever given me flowers.
I'm sorry to hear that, Stripes. You should probably try to do well to make it so that people don't find out where you are. Or when you're gonna be here next, because then they'll be sending flowers here. That'd be ridiculous.
I think they'd be sending flowers to you.
Wouldn't it be funny if they sent like striped flowers, and it's supposed to mean something because you're Stripes?
I think there's this like Mexican flower that smells like chocolate, but I don't think it's common. All right, go on.
No, I'm just thinking about a Mexican flower that smells like chocolate. Number 7. In the spring of 1999, I went to a film festival that debuted a documentary about Gothic subculture. Gothic subculture called sex, death, and eyeliner. It was made by one of the guys who made Trekkies, and was very similar to that movie. Trekkies is a documentary about people who are into Star Trek, but like feverishly so. Like as passionate about Star Trek as some Star Wars nerds are about Star Wars. It poked fun at the lunatic fringe elements of the subculture, but overall it was pretty respectful, and everyone in attendance, mostly a toned down group of goths, enjoyed it. At the end of the film, producer did a Q&A, and during it, mentioned that he was having a difficult time trying to sell it to the right people. The Columbine massacre had happened just a few weeks earlier, and for a while, the media was trying to portray the shooters as goths. A lot of the companies were interested in buying it. and the producer was very concerned about not letting it get into the hands of someone who would try to portray goths negatively. The final question of the Q&A was from a guy who went off on a tirade defending the shooters of Columbine and explained how he understood how they felt and why they did what they did. The entire room went from laughing and feeling very good to overwhelmingly pissed off at this guy and booing him. Completely killed the mood of the evening. That fucking kid was lucky the people in that room were civilized. That shit would have turned into an old school mob beatdown real quick. Yeah, I wish things were the way they were in the UK sometimes, because some people need a fucking slap. Some people need to just get the fucking sense knocked into them. So, number 7, Brazilians watching the World Cup. Another sports one that just flies over my head, goddamn. Number 6, a pub quiz. Everyone was a bit boozed up. Announcer, who was universally hated and considered a massive bellend by everyone, made the controversial call to disallow a debatably correct answer. The answer given by everyone was Jessica Ennis, the Olympic athlete from England, but she had gotten married 2 weeks before the quiz, and so her official name was Jessica Ennis Hill, which was the only accepted answer. The two teams actually walked out after shouting abuse at the guy running the quiz, and everyone else booed. The people that answered Ennis Hall are the ones that Googled the answers. Yeah.
I'm not sure why this is so high up here. It doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
I think it shows us just how many Brits are on Reddit that we didn't know. You know what I mean? You ever go to black people Twitter?
No.
What do you mean no?
I don't think I know of that one.
Black people Twitter is a subreddit where people post screen caps typically, you know, and the idea is that it's something that you would see on a black person's Twitter. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You get it? That's pretty much it.
But why are we here?
We're here because it has long been a running joke that all the people on black people Twitter are actually white people pretending to be black. This is where they go to feel black. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Yes. Oh God. All right. Yeah. So I would imagine that, you know, all of Reddit now is really just a whole bunch of Brits pretending to be Americans, and they probably have it all down when they're not talking about pub quizzes and people being bell ends. You know what I mean? God save the Queen.
Any Brit is very good at hiding their Britness.
I think they can. I think they just need to know what words not to use. Number 5. At a friend's funeral who had committed suicide, everyone was somber and respectful at the service. And the service went on, and the clergy talked about heaven and whatnot. The last speaker comes up and says, well, she may not be allowed in heaven because of the suicide, and how that's a terrible sin, yada yada. A huge portion of the family starts sobbing uncontrollably, and some outright walk out. Those that stayed were super angry and began to threaten the speaker. He had to be escorted from the funeral home by security. Talk about tasteless, man. Just no class. I am like dying here because of that sneeze.
What, do you have another one coming?
No, it's just, my nose is just like, Jesus Christ, what am I supposed to do? Number 4, house party. Everyone is high as fuck, having a great time. Find out one of our friends has hung himself. Oh no, at the party?
At the party?
That shit was probably not okay, especially the person who found him. Yeah, dude, it was probably at the party.
Like, how would you react to that when you're high and you found your friend hanging? It's like, does that make it worse?
Yeah, Stripes. Like, what is this, a movie to you? Like, you're just so high, you're walking around like, all around the mistletoe. Yo, man, get down from that rope, man.
I'm sorry, I've never been high. I don't know what the reaction is.
Look, it's literally just the type of thing that makes it, okay. You're relaxed.
It
Things
just
are.
dulls your.
You can laugh a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not dulling much. If anything, it's kind of like amplifying your chill factor. There's a reason they give weed to people to calm the fuck down who are like anxious as fuck. It's because
Well, I
it's
guess
gonna make you
finding a
chill
dead
dude.
body would be a sobering experience either.
Yeah, dude, you find that dead body, you will be staring like, let me make a face for what finding a dead body on weed would be like. It would be, no, man. You see this? You see that?
Yes, I see it.
You would be like, if you found a dead body while you were high, you would be like, oh shit. And you will probably rock backward and forward in place for a while going, am I on the internet? And then you will find somebody else and be like, man, that's a dead body.
I must seem so callous right now. I'm sorry. That was my first thought.
Yeah, man. Does it make it better? That's what you asked. We'll always have that on tape, Stripes. We'll always have that on tape. Number 4, they announced that in another 30 minutes, there would be another announcement about the status of our delayed flight. And everybody went crazy, huh? And yes, technically this doesn't, because some people were already unhappy, but this was the tipping point for most at the airport that day. Well, what y'all niggas at the airport gonna do? Nothing. That's the bottom line. Otherwise, you ain't going home. What happened?
For a lemonade.
You allowed yourself to wait 20 minutes for a fucking lemonade. Do you know what I mean? You have any idea how loud I would have got up in that bitch after paying for something and not receiving it for more than 4 minutes? People don't go to a fast food place to wait for a long time for fucking food. This isn't a restaurant, nigga. The next time that shit happens, fucking speak up, Stripes. Fucking speak up. Were you like waiting patiently back away from the counter as well? Nah, nigga. Like when you give somebody your money and you go to a fast food place, you stay at that fucking counter until you get what the fuck you getting. Especially if it's just a drink. All the drink is them fucking pouring it in, you know what I mean, in the cup from the machine. It's not like they need to assemble the core ingredients for this shit and then splice them properly according to, like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Stripes! Sorry. I just shook up my desk and stuff. That was really cool. Nobody could see that though, you know? A response to this says, I was waiting for a flight in Newark when an airline employee gets on the PA of the gate next to mine and says, Dear passengers, flight blank to blank has been delayed due to a pigeon entering the aircraft during the maintenance process. So I thought, okay, pigeon got sucked into the engine or something, serious stuff. But then the announcement continued. The pigeon entered the cabin through an open door when the aircraft was being cleaned. Our crew attempted to find it, but could not.
That was my first thought too. The cabin. It's inside the cabin, not it. It got like shredded up in the engine.
United Airlines was being outsmarted by the dumbest of birds.
I've heard pigeons are pretty smart.
If I could ask my resident furry to pipe down on their defense attorney status of all dumb animals, please. Please, Stripes. Pigeons are smart! No! I want my lemonade, but pigeons smart too. You would wait all day for that pigeon to get out of that plane, wouldn't you? Because it's all about pigeon rights for you, isn't it, Stripes? You ever draw a pigeon?
Yes, of course.
Oh God, I thought she was going to say no, dude. I thought she was going to say no. Anyway, this guy clearly knew that the passengers were not impressed. We don't expect your understanding, but your patience would be appreciated. That last line. You know that guy was at the end of his shift.
I can't remember the name of the pigeon. He served coffee.
Is this a pigeon that you have drawn, or a pigeon in real life that serves coffee? Like in an animated. Oh my God. Number 3, man.
You've never played Animal Crossing, Kyle.
And it'll never happen. Number 3. My extended family had a day at the lake. All day was nothing but happiness. Until we started cleaning up, half of the family were on the lake and decided to play a prank on the rest of us who were getting ready to go. They sent a voicemail that they were sinking and didn't have life jackets. There were kids on the boat who couldn't swim. My grandpa believed it, and when none of the nearby boat owners would let him borrow one to save his family, he stole a boat and went out to look for them. He of course found them safe and sound, and there was a huge fist fight when everybody got back. Some of them haven't spoken to each other since. It's been years. That is so sad, Stripes. That's not a prank, my nigga, when pranks involve potential death.
Yeah.
And people are, God, you don't know how people will act at the idea of someone dying, dude. That's not a prank. How fucking numbnut do you have to be? Just don't be a fucking pea-brain idiot.
I mean, the silver lining with this is that he did take action when he thought his family was in danger. And I find that really,
Is it worth a relationship rift?
Of course not.
You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. That's connotations that these assholes weren't thinking. They weren't thinking of the law getting involved, you know what I mean? Because this guy has now technically stolen a boat, even though he did it under the impression that he might perhaps be able to save the lives of his loved ones, bro. And you know that these were young niggas involved being fucking stupid, dude. And that's such a heartbreaking thing. It's not like a woman here who is kind of just like upset about something stupid and then decides to hold a grudge. I'm sure you have that in your family, you know what I mean? Where some like two women in your family have one dumb argument and they don't talk to each other for years. This is a man thing. Do you know what I mean? These people lied about their lives being in danger. So this nigga took action into his own hands because nobody was willing to offer him, help. So he made his way out there, stole a boat, you know what I mean? And then, oh, it's all a prank, Dad. It was like funny. It was a joke. Like you stupid bitch. To the point where now they're not talking because that's serious shit, man. And I bet you that the proper apology hasn't been levied because a person who doesn't understand what they've done can't properly apologize. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And if they understood what they did, then they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have been capable of doing what they did if they could fathom the magnitude of, so nonsensical and like stress provoking a fucking lie. Like, goddamn. Number, what is this, man? 3? One day at work, we had a 1-hour meeting followed by a planned pizza party as a reward for meeting some safety goal. They'd been telling us all week not to worry about food because they were getting pizza. Well, after the meeting, we're sitting around waiting for the pizza to get there when our boss comes in and tells us there was a failure of communication and no one actually ordered pizza. If you want to see 50 factory workers go from excited to murder ready in less than a second, that's what you tell them.
I thought you ordered the pizza.
Please tell me someone eventually got you guys some pizza the next day. Oh. What are you talking about pizza? Like, yeah, I want pizza now, but I'm not going to get it. And I'm going to get the cheap pizza at Walmart. Maybe I'll go to Walmart today. God, what's wrong with me?
I think you're just congested.
The sneeze fucked up my day. This brisket burning fucked up my day. I don't know why I made it so late last night. It's because I wanted to enjoy it throughout the day today, slicing it with rice, maybe some ramen. Oh my God, it's ruined me today. I need to make 50 of these videos because each of these videos I make about $2 off of. If I can get about $100, then I can buy a new CPU. When I get the new CPU, we can make actual videos and not this crap. The bottom line is I'm probably going to make subscribers off of making these like really weird and lengthy
I'm sorry,
uninspired
you
list
waste of your
videos.
time.
I didn't say that they're a waste of my time. I say that it's not as great as it could be. I wouldn't compare this to like the Reddit collection because it's so condensed and serious in the way of content. This is great because it's me reading something that perhaps somebody wouldn't have the time to sit down and read through. Maybe they can just throw it on while they're working or doing something else. Maybe even go to sleep to, as we often joke about in the past. But, you know, fuck me. We
These are
need
the
to,
best part of my day.
they're the best part of your day, Stripes.
Well,
Well,
of
that's
course,
just because you like me. Nobody likes me. That's the
I
bottom line.
love you.
I love you.
And by extension, you are the best part of my day.
Oh my god. 20 loving anecdotes from Stripes. Coming in at number 20. Oh my god. Number 2. At my work, we host weddings. A few years ago, the groom and one of our waitresses were caught having sex on the 9th green by the maid of honor. The groom and the waitress. The 180-degree turn of drunk, happy people to incredibly angry drunk people was insane. The families were screaming at each other. The bride was crying. The mother of the bride was crying. The dad was being held back because he was going to kill the groom. Understandable. We ended up calling the police. They came and escorted the groom's family out the door. Some of the smart groom's family took off right away when they heard. It happened within an hour. We called the incident night putting.
Night putting.
I've always been told the bride and the groom can't even find a minute to eat during their wedding. Where does this dude find the time to seduce and fuck a waitress? Seduce! Like some chicks aren't just fucking on the table for it, you know what I mean? It's so funny. You remember that one, what's that one Team Fortress 2 thing where Scout goes like, I got a bucket of chicken. You know what I mean? What?
You want to do it?
Yeah. And the girl's like, let's do it. It's as simple as that. Some people, you know what I mean? Especially superficial people. Are you kidding me? Some girls that are just like, yeah, I like the way this guy likes. Totally gonna happen. Like, yeah, some girls make the decision within seconds of seeing a dude whether or not they fuck him. So if they're on the table for it, then she'll be on the table on her back ready to receive it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Seduce. Fuck, bro. Not eating. When I got married, I was served first. Oh, boy. If people want to congratulate me, they came up to my table at the head of the room to do it. I felt like a king. Kneel before the betrothed. They're like, look.
That's how my sister's wedding was. They were like at the front.
Well, I think that's supposed to be how it's done.
It felt like.
I think that's how. I think it's a normal wedding. I think it's normal.
It wasn't really normal to me.
During bar trivia, this is number 1. During bar trivia, the question was, what was the biggest fish in Finding Nemo? The answer was blue whale. Nigga, what? Whales aren't fish. People started yelling at the guy that whales are mammals. He said it was in the water, so it counted as a fish. What? I asked, is the dentist a fish? Because he was in the water. The Applebee's judge just barely avoided a riot that night. People don't play around with bar trivia, apparently.
I'm sorry you burned your brisket, Kyle. I wish there was something I can do to make it go away.
I wish there was something I could do to have taken that sneeze back, because it seems to have shaken, rocked my body in such a way where I'm almost congested and I need to do something about it. It's probably made for a very visibly miserable video for some people who may not have been in the mood for me congested. But you know what? I'll make it up to you next video. I'll find like a particularly exciting or morbid list, both of which I know you'll definitely be in the mood for. Hopefully, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm probably going to try and kick up streams during the night in a more frequent manner. I do know that, me playing Overwatch is probably getting on some people's nerves, but man.
You're doing it tonight too?
I don't know. I'm going to see what I can stream tonight. The bottom line is I'd stream on the computer if the CPU could handle it, but everything's falling apart. Everything on the computer is just maxing out the CPU to a point where the audio skips. And I'm sure you guys have been on the computer that's like, kind of had the stuttering audio when it's freezing type bullshit. It is like the scariest way a computer can malfunction. And I haven't seen that honestly since like a Windows 95 computer, and it happened on mine the other day when we were just trying to play this one bullshit game. Maybe I'll upload a video of that game because that shit was really funny. It was a button game, remember?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god, the button game. If you guys have anything you want to tell me, let me know in the comments. If you have anything to suggest, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, you know where to find me, and you know what to expect. Tell me what you want in the comments, and I'll make it happen. I am really trying to put things out on the channel in a capacity that is, accessible for everyone. So, if there's something that you don't get, it's because you're not fucking asking for it. I'm willing. You're just not letting me know. So you guys have a great day, and try not to burn your brisket, right?
Do you have a humidifier?
No.
Why don't you own a humidifier, Kyle?
The biscuit is burnt to a crisp, Stripes. It's not like edible and it's just like blacker than I need it. It's burnt to a crisp. The house nearly burnt down. Which may be an exaggeration, but like when I went, the smoke woke me up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was talking about your cold, but that's fine too.
Oh, nigga, I thought you were talking about See, this is how out of touch with reality I am. I thought that you thought like a dehumidifier was some kind of like contraption that you could put a burnt piece of meat into, and it would somehow pump the juice back into the meat. That's what needs to be built. If you in the comments can let me know of a machine that can deburn, I'm kidding. This is my life, and I just want to die. It's two options, Stripes. I can kill myself, or I can kill other people. I'm just kidding, government. Do you think the government would have like a guy? Do you think like the NSA has a guy that's like tasked with just sifting through all the boring shit that I dish out?
Do you mean like assigned to you specifically?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're a big enough deal to someone.
To someone. Oh, let's end the video. See you all later.